I'm really excited to show you these videos today because, you know, there's a lot going on regarding the ET and UFO world. Things have been dug up again over many years. Dr. Stephen Greer is showing more photos. Jeremy Corbell, one of his theories that he had a while ago seems to be coming true. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have a little look at that in a second. But I want to first start off by talking about Skinny Bob. Now, reports say that this video was recorded in 1942 and 1969, between those dates, okay? It shows the alien with a massive head, small nose, small mouth, big eyes, in like a jumpsuit, you know, just looking around. And there are loads of people saying that this is real, loads of people saying that this is fake. So here's the video, and I want to go into a little bit of detail, but something else is quite sort of important I want to talk to you about. So here's Skinny Bob. Now, I remember seeing this ages ago. I'm thinking, wow, man, that looks absolutely so real. A lot of people are putting their hand on their heart and saying, this is genuine. And it just does look so realistic. It looks so realistic. In this second, I'm going to show you the, I would say, pros and the cons regarding this Skinny Bob. There's one thing I said, actually, when I first saw it. I was like, that must have to be a really stretchy material jumper to get his bloody head through that. Look at it. It's so weird, man. It almost looks childlike, right? That looks like, man, just going back here, there, you would say like, well, that's a child, and then it just goes with the massive head. Look. So it looks like there is like some sort of zipper. It would have to be, because how are you going to get that bloody head through that? And I'm not even being funny, but like even the stance is like it's leaning more so on the right leg and the left leg slightly bent. It's almost like just chilling, you know? The bodily proportions just seem correct. You know, that shoulder's lower than this one here because it's leaning on that leg. That knee's bent, so that you know when you're sort of leaning on one leg and do you know what I'm saying? It just seems correct. It's raised up in comparison to this side. Look, it's enhanced. Look how realistic the eyes looks with the enhancement.
The government is lying to you and the Skinny Bob footage from the 40s is fake. Are you sure? Look at this upscaled image. Pay attention to Skinny Bob's eyes. In this improved version you can see his irises contract with the changing light. Remember, this video was supposedly recorded in the 40s. A time when deepfakes didn't exist.
It's resurfacing again. This is from, by the way, this is from Jason Sands. Here you go. Skinny Bob is back and still very interesting film. I wish I could verify its authenticity, as I believe that on natural movement and facial morphs alone, it looks real to me. The reason why I'm showing you Skinny Bob is because it's resurfaced again. Now, over on a channel called Undercover ET UK, this guy here, he's managed to interview this gentleman called Edward Abbots, right? This is Edward Abbots, and he basically had claimed to see the colour footage of this ET because he's military background and things like that. He had clearance of whatever. I've not actually seen this interview, but I would recommend go and checking it out. I am going to try. I've contacted Undercover ET UK if he can give me the details to Edward Abbott's, like the email, and maybe I can reach out and I can get him onto my channel for another interview, right? So I can ask him some questions and we can do it that way. So I think the more exposure, the better. Whether you believe it or not, we'll get him on and we'll discuss it, okay? But if you don't want to wait for that, please go over and check out Undercover ET UK. So this is what we know about Skinny Bob, okay? I'm just going to briefly go over it because I want to show you the pros and the cons. What's for it being real, what's for it being not real, okay? So it first appeared online in April and May 2011, uploaded on YouTube by a user named Ivan0135. And presented as alleged leaked footage from the KGB, reportedly recorded between 1942 and 1969. A whistleblower, Edward Abbott, on the interview there, claimed in 2021 and 2025 to have seen unedited colour footage of Skinny Bob in a SCIF, Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility, in 2008, describing a living alien pilot with two ships in staggered formation. Now, normally I start off with the pros and then go on with the cons. Today, I'm going to go with the cons and then go with the pros. Okay, so the cons, the skeptics' arguments. Critics argue that the footage looks CGI or animatronics and unnatural movements with faster frame rate for blinks compared to other motions. The alien's humanoid appearance is seen as stereotypical and unlikely for a distant extraterrestrial. That I just sort of don't quite understand. If 2 legs and 2 arms work, why not? Anyway, a damaged film overlay was identified as an added effect, possibly to mask CGI imperfections. That's a good one. If you can prove the fact that a damaged film overlay was actually added. Some VFX experts note that biomechanics, e.g. neck supporting a large head, seem unconvincing. Speculation that the footage was a promotion for a film or TV series, though no such project materialized. So they seem a little bit of a wishy-washy, like, skepticisms, right? Me, personally, my visual brain is saying this looks real. What I'm seeing looks real. It was so long ago. How could they have pulled something off like this? Right? And my mental side is saying, but it's so hard to believe. And then I'm like, but you believe in aliens. So it's a conflict. So I would say I'm more convinced that it's real than it isn't real, but only slightly. So listen to these pro arguments. Forensics analysis, e.g. error level analysis, suggests no clear signs of CGI, with irregular noise patterns resembling real camera footage rather than structured CGI noise. Okay, right. Estimated cost to make the videos in 2011 would be around £220,000 or $250,000, requiring a professional team. Yet no one has claimed credit. Just imagine spending £250,000 on creating a video and nobody gets any credit, unless it's the government that says make a video, leak it. We want to, like, plant a seed. That would be the only, like, because who's going to spend £250,000 on that? Attention to details such as footprints near a crashed alien and an Eisenhower, what is that? Eisenhower jacket silhouetted 1944-1957 adds credibility. Ooh, okay. Some claim the alien's movements, like blinking and forehead muscles, pulsations, appear lifelike and difficult to replicate with 2011 technology. When was Spider-Man? One second. I didn't think about doing this, but when did Spider-Man? Let me just TikTok. When did which one was the Green Goblin in Spider-Man? Was it Spider-Man 1? What year was Spider-Man 1 released? 2002. So 2011, they're saying about the technology. Okay, hang on one second. The reason I say this is because Green Goblin concept.
This was the original animatronic Green Goblin mask that was intended for 2001's Spider-Man before it was replaced by this one.
Hold it right there! I surrender!
Director Sam Raimi was concerned that the design might be too frightening for younger viewers. While the mask was undeniably impressive, it was also extremely difficult to wear and required a lengthy application process. These challenges led Raimi to abandon it in favor of a simpler, more practical alternative. In this screen test, you can see how the animatronics manage the movement of the upper facial region, allowing the actor to focus solely on using their mouth for performance.
Wow, very good.
Well, the movements are really subtle in the forehead. I gotta say that. But that was 2002, and they're saying that Skinny Bob potentially could have been made in 2011. But it still goes back to who would go to all that length and trouble to do that, right? And no one's called it out yet, because the government, although they can do a lot of things, I don't think there's a special effects team, makeup artists and stuff in, like, well, there probably is, to be fair. But they probably would have hired somebody that is specializing in animatronics to do something like that, and under secrecy, and says, right, don't tell anybody, you know, if that's the case. But I just wanted to show you that, right? So that's that. Now, I also want to, like, this is really quite crazy. Newbie Luna over on X sent me this, and all she says is, almost. Now, let me cast your mind back to this particular video. This video was, I think it was last year, I think it was. Check it out.
Government now wants you to know one truth, and that truth is that UFOs are real. They've already done told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie. And that's coming. I have zero doubt that lie is coming.
What is the lie?
Specifically, you want me to say it right now, for real? Real? On camera? To be put in the show?
Yes.
Okay. Problem with that. If we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really think about if you want to put this in your show. For real. That's a real thing I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't think about it. He's just like, this motherfucker is going on the show.
So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie.
2027.
Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera.
And it just made me think about a video that I did the other day. NASA confirms alien rock screaming through solar system at 152,000 miles per hour. Confirmed by NASA and Minor Planet Center, 31 Atlas is real and it's not from here. The interstellar object is moving 152,000 miles per hour and could reach 90 kilometers by April. It's the third visitor from another star system ever recorded. The other one as well is that Oumuamua one, you know? Estimated up to 12 miles wide. It'll swing by the sun in October and graze Mars. First spotted June 25. It's now officially tagged Interstellar. It just made me think of that and this trajectory. But isn't it strange that there's been these huge things now changing course on our way to, like, you know, that Oumuamua thing. Is it the Oumuamua? However you pronounce it. That was changing direction. That shit just literally changed direction. Is that what they're going to be saying is going to be happening in 2026, 2027? Is this sort of like another sort of seed being planted? It's pretty crazy to think that could be a story being told in a couple of years' time. Is that why so many people now are talking about aliens and ETs and and UFOs and things like that? You know, is this the reason why the government is talking about it so much? I mean, Christ, it seems like a blink of an eye ago that we were just being laughed at when we're talking about UFOs and ETs. It's strange. So on the subject of Jeremy Corbell, still sitting on that, he was on a podcast recently and he was speaking to Dr. James Lakatsky, former DIA scientist, AAWSAP, right? And he was saying that basically, he was putting his foot down. He wanted answers. Listen to this. This is quite like, I do like Jeremy Corbell. I'd love to have him on the channel one day and just talk to him. But listen to this.
Is you're officially allowed to tell us that the United States government has in its possession a craft of unknown origin and you are able to access the inside. Is that correct?
The wording that you read is correct. You're going beyond the wording.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, did that meeting happen? And is it true? And it's true.
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling us, you told us, because you were allowed to tell us, that our government has a UFO in its possession and has been able to access the inside of it, right?
Yes.
So, like, everyone's now just saying, yeah, we got aliens, we got UFOs, we've been in there. The interesting part about that, right, which I didn't actually get to see all of, because that was a link sent from UAP Reporting Center. We had access to a UAP and were able to enter it. It was bigger on the inside than the outside. This implies the craft may exhibit non-3D space capabilities. So it's like a TARDIS. It's like Doctor Who's TARDIS. You just go in there and it's fucking massive. How is that even possible? I don't know. There must be some sort of scientific explanation of how that is possible. You know, I'm not willing to go into it today. All right, I'm just going to take their word for it. But it's absolutely mad. Now, here's another bit of information that it's just a bit confusing. It just seems things are... There's two individuals at the moment which are just confusing me. I've got to admit, they're just confusing me, right? Because once upon a time, I looked at these two individuals. I was like, what they say goes, okay? And I'm not saying that I don't think that anymore. I'm just saying that it is a little bit confusing about what's going on, right? Because the first one we're going to talk about, just just quickly before we get into Dr. Stephen Greer. The first person is Ross Coulthart. Now, he ruffled a few feathers last week because he came out and he says that the Tic Tac UFO was technology of Lockheed Martin. All right? He basically says he's 100% proof that the Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin's technology. Also, he claimed that the New Jersey drone situation was the tech of China, right? It was Chinese tech, and America basically threw their own tech into the mix, and it became this overgrown, massive, like New Jersey drone situation. All right. So people were a little bit upset with the idea of him saying, "Look, this is actually just, our own tech. Like the Tic Tac is our own tech." But then a few days later, he says this.
What I was told, and I'm reasonably sure that this is the case, is that the Tic Tac was being operated by Lockheed Martin. And it's conceivable that that was being operated neuromeditatively, psionically, by a human psionic, which is what I understand is the way that these retrieved non-human craft are being operated.
It's almost like he's saying two things here. He's saying, yes, the Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin technology. But then he's saying it's like, what is it? Like mental, like moving this thing mentally through your mind.
And it's conceivable that that was being operated neuromeditatively.
Euromeditatively, right? Neuromeditatively. That isn't that like the communicating to these alien like UAPs and bringing them in. So am I getting that wrong? That's pretty much what he's saying, right?
What I was told by a human psionic, which is what I understand is the way that these retrieved non-human craft are being operated.
So unless he's saying that then he's not talking about the Tic Tac. He's talking about, okay, so Lockheed Martin have created tech that is controlled like by the mind, let's just say for layman's terms, by the mind, which is also the way how they bring in other non-human UFO into their property. But Neil Goodman says, am I the only one who doesn't believe anything this guy says anymore? Now, I wouldn't say that much. I wouldn't stretch that far. Like I said, I've got to defend him a little bit. He is somebody that gets information and spurts it out. Whether he believes it, he doesn't believe it, he wants to believe it, he doesn't want to believe it. I don't think he's being controlled. I think it's just a very complex area. Now, the other person that I'm finding really hard to follow recently, okay, with the videos or photos, I should say, he's been pushing out. Now, look, I want to believe. I really do. And I do believe. But sometimes it just makes it very difficult for me, right, to at least believe him. We're talking about Dr. Stephen Greer. So basically, he's gone on some podcasts and he's just made an announcement. He's got some photos of aliens that he's managed to capture through a CE-5 meditation type expedition. Okay. Now, let me just show you some of these videos and then we'll go into the analysis in a second. Look at this.
Well, I actually have a picture on my cell phone of two actual ETs that were present at a CE-5 contact event. If you're at Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, you can see the film on Amazon Prime or Tubi. And so it's not on a Ring camera, it's on my iPhone. So if you could have them contact me, they can send us $1 million tomorrow.
Okay, do you have these pictures right now?
Yeah.
Can you show them on the camera?
Oh, I'd have to fish them out, but yeah, they're pretty amazing, actually.
Like I just, I do love this guy. There's just something about him. It just seems really, I don't know. He just seems a nice guy. I just feel sometimes the pressure and the stress that he must have. But let's carry on.
So this is one, and you know, he very triangular shaped head, almost like a beak-like face. It was at an event we did out in the Arizona desert a couple years ago. There were about 30 witnesses to this. This photograph was taken with a really good Nikon camera by David Marconi, who wrote the
a really good Nikon camera
screenplay for Enemy of the State. And it was during a reconnaissance and contact event we were doing there in the desert up above Tucson, up at about 4,000 or 5,000 feet. And it was a very unusual series of events happened. We have another one. I don't know if I have that one on my phone. That happened at Joshua Tree National Park about, 15 years ago. And quite spectacular, everyone saw. And as a person took a picture of it, now this was under low light conditions, but it's very clear what it is. And it's an extraterrestrial being that's sort of levitating, floating out in the desert just outside our circle. So, yeah, we have a lot of...
So, look, okay, I've got that picture as well.
This is an alleged photo of an interdimensional NHI posted by Stephen Greer. The figure behind the man is an alien and is supposedly performing a healing. So far, it looks okay, although it's very dark.
But isn't it strange that it's got a very similar type of shaped head than that like Skinny Bob? Just saying. And then he released this one recently as well. Okay. ET's joined a CE-5 expedition in Newquay Valley, joined hundreds in meditation under the stars in Scottsdale, AZ, Arizona, September 19th, September 29th, September the 19th to 21st, 2025. And Dr. Stephen Greer and his team learn how to take photos such as this, meditate and make contact with the international group, link in bio. Here we go. You've got chairs around here, look. And then you've got what he's claiming to be these aliens, humanoid bodies here. It's just like, and I've got another one. We'll go back to this one in a second.
Yeah. I'll send you one.
So this is the one that he was talking about, but they've enhanced it. Man, mate, I'm struggling here.
And then another
I'm
one
struggling.
Is at night, full darkness.
Okay.
And you'll like this, I think. And then I have another cool one where it was so cold we went inside and there were these two ETs that sat in our chairs that have these conical heads. It's less clear, but it's very cool. And then there was this cool, my favorite is this one. It's so abstract, but I call this the sort of a light being, where it's an advanced species that's so advanced. Yes.
See, the thing is, like, who am I to judge, right? He's claiming to be there doing this and he's getting the evidence. He might himself be a little bit peed off with the blurry things going on and but he's got to remain positive because he sees what he sees and he believes it, right? But, man, there just happened to be lights directly behind where the face shine, so it's going to be silhouetted and blurred out, always bleeding of the light through. It looks like it's on a slow shutter speed as well, right? Unless it's unless the lens is dirty or it's got a bit of humidity on the lens or something and the light's making it blurry. But surely if you're about to take a photo, you would see that it's blurry, you would wipe the lens and then go. I don't know, mate. I don't know. What do you think of this? Man, let's just say it's bullshit, right? He's faking these photos and they're really crap photos. They don't show anything. Well, how do you explain this? This is him doing a CE-5 meditation. This is live footage. What's going on here?
Whoa, just don't pop
stand
too
up,
much.
Please crouch down and look, because you'll block our cameras.
Wow.
Those behind me.
Wait, it gets more interesting.
Stand up, 'cause Okay, that, you see that color? Yeah. That's not a plane. No. Oh, no.
No, that's a ship.
So let's thank them for coming.
Wow, and it's above the sea level.
Please turn off your night scope, Charles. Off.
Someone's infrared or whatever.
Yeah, that's Charles.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, here they come. There are two.
Whoever's right in the front, if you can kind of just stay low, because your head is right.
You can get on your knees in front of Richie. Look at this, how gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm looking with the night scopes. There's no smoke, there's no trails. These are not flares. And
oh my goodness.
Okay, let's welcome them here.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
They were waiting for us to arrive.
Whoa.
Jacques, please photograph.
Yeah.
All cameras should be filming. So connect to them in your consciousness and invite them here. These are the golden ones I talked about. See how gold? Yeah. Because the horizon is only 7 to 10 miles depending on the conditions. So it's probably a couple miles. Everybody see them?
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
You know, he's got a whole team out there and they're all in amazement. So, you know, I'm trusting them more than I'm my own judgment watching a video, if you know what I'm saying, right? That's crazy. But then listen to this as well. This is something else which I thought was absolutely incredible. And this woman knows her shit, like, or for what she knows now is what we're talking about. Sorry, for what this woman knows then is what we're talking about now. Okay? Listen to this woman.
Little grays are not what people think they are. They are robotic creatures. I called them a robot one time, and they said, it's not exactly a robot, it is a biologically created being. And you know, if we get around to making robots, we're going to make them look just like little humans. So the smaller version of the tall gray scientists that are on the laboratory craft. Right? When they travel by shifting their vibrations and frequencies. All they have to do is raise the vibration of the craft. It's like watching a fan blade or a propeller on a plane. When it speeds up, it becomes invisible. That's what happens with them. When they speed up the vibration and frequency of the craft, it will disappear into the other dimension. People have reported seeing a light in the sky will suddenly blink out. And other times they'll see one just appear. That's when they slow down the vibration to come into our atmosphere.
What?
This is very hard on them. They don't like to be in our density. This is a very low, dense vibration. They would rather stay out of our atmosphere. So when they have to send the beings down to do the samplings and the testing on the humans and take them, they will always come in the small craft, and you will usually see the little gray beings. The little gray beings have been created to withstand the density of the Earth, the heaviness. And that's all they are. To me, they're like, I call them gophers. They're the ones that just do the chores and do what they're supposed to do and take the things back. Because it's too hard on their bodies to enter our dimension.
May. So she's saying they're not, listen.
What people think they are. They are robotic creatures.
Robotic creatures. They are robotic creatures, she's saying, right? Now, have you seen the experiments that these people are doing on these, like these animatronics? Imagine, right? Let me just try and find you something here a minute. Look at this thing. This is a robot. In 2025. Now, one of my theories is that we are the aliens. I've told you this. That we are the aliens. In the future, we might end up looking and being more like them or whatever, right? However, what about this? That there technology is 2025. What about in another 1,000 years? Or not even that, or 500 years, right? These things have got actual, like, muscles and tendons underneath that skin. Throw in AI intelligence in that thing, mate. Right? You're going to have something that looks pretty darn real. and being super intelligent, like aliens. So are the little greys what we've developed, but so far in the future? Did we develop the greys? Anyway, it's mad, man. I've got more I want to show you. I've got UFO videos, I've got more alien videos, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please put your comments in. Tell me what you think about all of this. Thank you so much, mate. Please make sure you subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.